This is more about living in the time of the coronavirus epidemic. So, let me ask you, how is your new year going? We are not even 2 weeks into it, and already I can't keep up. We've got a virulent virus, a variant virus, 2 vaccines, some people waiting for it, some people refusing it, and then there was the rampage. And now a sequel, impeachment 2. This time we've got him. You've heard of a quickie divorce? This will be a quickie impeachment. Fancy Bulldozy will fly to Reno and get it done. They're going to call it Operation Warp Speed. Years ago, there was a pro football game that was completely obscured by fog. The cameras could not penetrate enough for the viewers to even see the players, much less follow the action. The decision was made to continue play, and reports were issued to the sidelines containing the results of each play by play. It was spooky enough that people stayed tuned to watch this bizarre oddity, even though they were effectively missing the game. I looked it up. It was the Eagles and Bears, a division playoff, 1988, known as, what else? The Fog Bowl. A blanket of fog covered Soldier Field. One player said it poured in like the pestilence in the Ten Commandments. It was called an evection fog, caused by a warm wind off the lake, hitting the cold field and condensing. A player said, "We knew the fans were there, but we couldn't see them, and they couldn't see us, so there was this odd cheering. It was like they were piping in crowd noise." We know all about that now. Yes, I'm going to compare the rampage to that football game. In lieu of clear reportage, we get facts with no context, as if out of some impenetrable fog. A police officer was murdered. 4 other people died, etc., etc. The facts are set before us, and I'm forced to accept them, but I don't know what they really mean. As I write this, I realize I've been in a fog at least since the epidemic was declared, and possibly my entire life. It's as if the Matrix were a distinct possibility and not a fantasy sci-fi film. More demo crazy. The FBI says it has credible evidence of threats to all 50 state capitals on Inauguration Day. The field mouse promised that he would not tolerate or allow a disruption in his state. I want to add a little something about the freedom of speech. The experts are unanimous in saying that Twitter can select who it serves because it is a private company. Okay, I get that. But it has a 100% public presence, and I think that changes its identity somehow. 50 years ago, Ma Bell would not have said to one of its customers, "We're going to pull your line." But Twitter can do it because they are private and also totally public. Ma Bell was private and private. The internet, I am trying to suggest, changes things when it comes to freedom of speech. Also, could a public school fire a teacher for attending a political rally? As a public school, they could not, but as an employer, perhaps they could. It is not, as they say, cut and dried. In a pinch, as in the epidemic, people will err on the side of caution, meaning they will fire you, and they will suspend your ability to communicate on the internet. I don't know much about the takeover of the Capitol building, but from the little I do know, it reminds me of the takeover of the college administration buildings by students and the SDS back in the late 60s, the spring of 1970. The students then had no plan except to evict the staff and deans, shut business as usual down, and then sit in their chairs, walk around their offices, maybe throw open a window, wave to the crowd gathered outside below, light up a stogie, and basically wait. Wait for a response from the authorities. That did not take long. And when they came in force. They cleared the building and sent the protesters inside it to jail. It was a fairly spontaneous event with no end in sight except to say, there, we did that. What now? The what now proved to be nothing. What happened at the Capitol building differed from that in the 5 deaths and a few thousand selfies. The end result was the same. Nuttin', honey.